Works and Safety, April 11, 2013 meeting. Roll call. Present.
Here. Here.
We deferring the minutes of April 4th?
Yes.
First, item 5A, contract with Rex Construction for First District roadway improvements.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the contract.
All in favor? Aye. Item 5B, supplemental agreement number 4, design work, First Group Engineering for Indianapolis Boulevard.
This doesn't change the total cost, but it does change some of the internal items in the original agreement, so I'd like to make a motion to Second.
All in favor? Aye. Next, correspondence from ESPO Engineering. They request approval for the November 15, 2012 approved request for permit of Comcast in Pertano to install underground cable across 165th.
Yeah, we actually approved this back in November, but then they never got to the work because winter set in, so they're just rescheduling it. So I'd like to make a motion that we approve the new dates.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next, from Councilman Higgs. He requests that 5712 area be demolished. He requests that Lyons and Howard be blocked off with barriers on June 22nd for the 3-on-3 basketball tournament.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve his request.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Next, from Councilman Emerson. He's requesting using gaming dollars to replace luminaire lighting for the south side of 165th Street from State Line to Columbia.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve that request.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Next, Mr. Gleason. This is the Franklin Elementary School request, and he's requesting that that be referred to Sergeant Patrick Carey.
Yeah, that's the one where they want to change the direction of the alley. And I think he wants a comment from the police. So I'll recommend that that be forwarded to Patrick Carey for comment.
All in favor? Next, for Ms. Gajewski of the Whiting Chamber of Commerce, requesting approval for their garage mahal on May 18th.
Move for the approval of the request.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Next is a request to operate a flea market at 700 Sibley Street. Would any interested parties come forward if they're here? Why don't you tell us about the scope and the frequency of your proposed flea market?
Well, first of all, I'm Pastor James Ford. I bought the property at 700 Sibley Street, and what we wanted to do, we wanted to be able to help bring in some people that have the opportunity that wanted to do a flea market, that we would have a place that they could do it. And we wanted to the scope of it, to just do it maybe twice a month. We wanted to make sure that there would be no blocking of streets. We wanted to do it on our property, and we want to designate spots and areas that if people needed to park, it wouldn't incur any kind of obstructions on the alley or the street of Kane itself. So that's basically the scope of it.
Any questions from board members?
Mr. President, will you be conducting any background checks on any of the vendors that you're proposing to have at your flea market?
With the vendors, primarily would be like residents or church members. What I shared with the pastor, that if we brought in outside vendors, we would recommend they come here and get what we call a general business license from Hammond, that they would have to produce to us with insurance, at which time before any flea market for an outside vendor would be approved, then they would have to, for them to participate, they would have to prove that to us. But right now, it's just for members and, people from the community.
This is gonna be twice a month?
Because the lot is that big, depending on the weather and the type of, outcome that we get. We wanted to have that as, in between. Not so much every month we're gonna do it, but we wanted the option to do it if, if the turnout was there.
Again, and we wanted to make, during the warmer months, we're not gonna do this all year round. It was just something that
You own the lot?
yes, we own the lot. We own the lot.
Mr. President,
Don't we have regulations concerning flea markets and how they operate?
Yes, but not concerning the basic authorization.
and gentlemen, you're familiar with City of Hammond Code relating to distances from intersections, and you're going to have your vendors set back far enough from the intersections to maintain compliance with City of Hammond codes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
Mr. President, I'd like to make the motion that the board authorize the operation of the flea market at 700 Sibley Street for a period of 180 days.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Next, 7141 McCook.
Good morning, I'm Jamie Driscoll. I'm here for the property owners, Kenneth and Janice Evans. We had the opportunity to tour this property on Monday with Mr. Cook, and we agreed to have the upstairs tenant removed. This is a two-unit, a legal two-unit. The upstairs tenant will be vacating. He's been informed. He's got 30 days to do so, and Mr. Cook agreed to that. Thereafter, there are some stairs leading up to the back. We're requesting 60 days to have those removed, and it'll be a single-family home.
So we're looking for a status in 60?
I think we've agreed to that.
Yes. They've been very cooperative throughout. Board's now is giving the gentleman out there, finding another place to stay, and then moving those back stairs, setting up that exit to the second floor apartment.
Move this to be set for status at June 20th.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, this matter was set for May 16th. I'd just like to confirm whether that date is vacated.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
4311 Torrance, rental registration.
Did you see the form I emailed you, the little email?
What's the status on this, gentlemen?
We did an inspection on the property. The owner has been cooperative as far as, what repairs and stuff would be necessary. I don't believe he intends to rent the property out any longer. However, he does still owe for the, previous years that it was rented out. This is the owner here, and like I said, he was cooperative in getting the inspection done. I guess it was circumstantial with the person who he's renting to, one of his employees, and we just received a couple complaints, but he said he would fix everything, so I'd give him that. He has been cooperative.
Is this your primary residence now?
No, it's not any longer. I purchased another house in Highland. Long story short, I was trying to get my kids back. I had to buy a house in Highland, so I got stuck with two properties. The market being what it was, I couldn't afford to sell it. I came up with a verbal rent-to-own agreement with Martine, which was my previous tenant, and he backed out of it, and so now I've got both properties again. And I wasn't familiar with the procedures on how to properly rent a property in Hammond.
involved, did you receive rental income on the property?
Last year, yes.
And this is a single-family home?
Yes.
Mr. President, I will make the motion that, based on the nature of the circumstance in this matter, the appeal be granted, the late fee be waived, and the unit be registered in arrears for 2012 at the regular rate of $80.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for coming. 5413 Molesberger.
We're asking for the removal of the middle apartment and some rooms in the basement, including a bathroom. The work has been completed, so all we need is your signatures.
I move for the acceptance of findings and orders as submitted.
Is there a second? All in favor? Aye. Next, we have a request for encroachment, 2648 162nd Street. You're gonna wait for me to hang myself before I get these forms? I have one behind it for about a month. Yeah, yeah. That's the same club I'm in. Wait till I get to college, you'll be triple drunk.
Yeah, right there.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah. This is further from your line.
What do we do with this encroachment?
They have an existing fence out on the highway,
Oh, okay.
all the way up to the curb at the corner. Comes all the way up to the curb, so no place to walk there. What's your request?
Well, first of all, my wife's car's been broke into. My truck has been shot with pellets, so we want to put our vehicles behind a fence. My wife bought this house in 2000 before I actually met her, but the existing fence was there then. And I've been down to talk to Mr. Novak, and I believe Kurt, I don't remember his last name, has also been talked to about this. For privacy, the fence is very, very old, and it's very, very shot. And with things the way they are, 2 doors down, we had a break-in. So this is more of a security situation, and it's also replacing an existing fence. And we asked permission to replace the fence. It'll also give the neighborhood a better look too, because the fence is shot. When we had the winds the other day, it separated from the post in like 4 different areas. So.
What would be the problem if you just moved the fence back to your property line?
Well, we have a bunch of shrubs and flower beds inside the fence there, and it would be disrupting the whole backyard.
How tall is that fence out in the front yard? Because that.
The fence is a picket fence in the front yard, sir.
How long has it been there?
We don't know.
I've been there since 2000, and the fence was there when I bought the house. So I have no idea. You'd have to, I don't know how you would check records.
An easement by prescription.
The fence wasn't in great condition when I bought the house, but I've never had the money to replace it.
You don't get an easement in a subdivision,
So the intent is to park the vehicles in the backyard? Is that
It's, what we're gonna do is, we're actually gonna take the fence from the garage, and then I'm allowed to go 20 feet out and bring it over to the backyard, and then conjoin it and go around. And then we're gonna have some type of a gate where we can put our vehicles behind the fence. Mine is parked in the garage, my wife will be parked in the
One
driveway.
thing that would be required is if you park your vehicles in the yard proper, it needs to be parked on a non-porous surface, either asphalt or cement.
It's
I already have
asphalt.
a driveway.
It's
He
gonna-
just wants to
it's
enclose
asphalt.
that. That's the
You're
part
Kurt, aren't
that's
you?
not enclosed
No.
at this time.
Replace the fence since it's already existing and make sure we apprise them of the fact that if the street gets redone, it's gonna come down.
Another thing I'd like to know is a 6-foot fence with a 2-foot lattice permissible in Hammond?
This property here has a sidewalk.
The fence,
If we ever redo this.
but then there's
right
2
now,
foot of
this is
lattice.
a strip of asphalt, but if we put
Okay.
walks and curbs in, the fence has gotta go.
The problem with that is that where we come off of the driveway, then there's a step on the other side of the driveway, and it's a foot higher.
And that's
So-
tolerable, or we don't
Okay.
just take a 6-foot fence, make it an 8-foot fence.
Mr. Rob,
I see.
do you, based on the nature of the street, do you understand that if your street is to be reconstructed, there's a good potential that the reconstruction plans may move into the city's right-of-way, create sidewalk there? You may, if we approve your request, you may expend monies replacing this fence, only to have to take it down upon the road being rebuilt.
Right.
That's acceptable. I mean, you know, the city needs to grow and we need to keep our house looking good. I mean, I put a lot of work into that home. We have put a lot of work in that home. And it's an eyesore, that fence that we have now, and it's also, you know, the fence is shot and it needs to be replaced. And with the economy and everything the way it is, we prefer, the old saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Mr. President, I'd like to make the motion that we take this matter under advisement and render an opinion in writing to the petitioners within
2 weeks?
20 business days.
Okay.
As Mr. Lindy mentioned, it's possible that there could be that street work in the city. If there is, would you sign a written consent that this property would not be in dispute in that event?
Sure.
Okay, we'll give you that time to think about that, and we'll have a conclusion right here in 2 weeks.
We've already thought about, so we have to come back in 2 weeks?
It's up to you. You don't have to come back. We can just send you a copy of the written
Okay.
decision.
So I can't get a permit until this is taken care of with you folks? Okay. Well, thank you for
We
your
may
time.
have it done earlier than that.
Would you notify us by mail or? Okay.
You have your mailing address and everything here, right?
Yes, sir. And the other thing, James Brown, my father-in-law, has Alzheimer's and he lives up in Wisconsin. He's not really a factor in this property. Sharon is, that's Sharon's father. And, he's really not involved in the property. It's basically our decision to make this happen.
Assuming the property's in his name then?
No,
He
it's in
was a
her name and he
co-signer
was a
when I bought
co-signer.
it because I work as a waitress, and the money that I showed on paper, I couldn't even buy a garage.
Math didn't work out.
Yeah, didn't work out too well, so he became a co-signer so that I could buy the house.
Very good, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Next, we have an agreement to rehabilitate 4149 Sheffield.
If I may just input real quick to the board, this property does currently have a citation out on it for doing work without a permit or contractor's license, and then they proceeded to dump the construction and demoed material in the garage. So that is also included on the citation. I haven't received correspondence yet from the owner, so I'm awaiting him to give me a call to inquire about the citation, but there is an open citation out on the property for doing that work without permits.
Yeah, I'm sure, I wrote- if you look on page 2, it says everything has to be done with a contractor in accordance to ordinance. So obviously, if he continues to mess up, he'd violate it. Or if you want the board to hold off a week.
Right.
Unique situation in that this floor of the main floor was raised roughly 2 feet to create an apartment underneath it. The apartment underneath it has to be removed also, and the floor has to be lowered.
All right, well,
Which includes lowering the structural beam that was raised and footings actually extended and poured.
This was before the Board of Public Works and was affirmed for the removal of 2 illegal apartments that were created without permits. And one of the stipulations that was put was that a structural engineer would be hired to go assess the work that was done when they cut the floor joists out and raised them up to get 7 feet in that front storefront basement apartment. Originally, it was a crawl space, and now they use it as habitable space. The person that purchased the property came in, paid for a demo inspection, and was thoroughly advised as to the procedure in which he had to follow to bring the property back into compliance. So, I mean, I just wanted to let you guys know before this was agreed upon that there is the open citation for the work the new owner has done, and he is aware of what we are requiring him to do for the work that was previously done before he bought the property.
Mr. President, the information that was used to draft this agreement did come from Kurt Cook, the building inspector. If you want to give maybe a copy of the agreement to Nick, Kurt did approve the language of the agreement. The agreements are written based on Kurt's inspection report.
Do we want to sign it?
It appears, Mr. President, the agreement instructs, agreement requires that any work done at the premises be done in accordance with Hammond City codes. So I don't see where signing the agreement is going to affect the city in any way.
That would be a requirement, whether that language was in there or not.
Sure. So, I'd like to move that we approve the agreement, and if there's subsequent breach by the other party, we'll visit that matter if and when it occurs. My motion to approve the agreement.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have a number of disposal authorizations from the police department.
President, I move that we approve the disposal of those assets.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Next from Mr. Victor Franco. He requests a hearing regarding the denial of a business license for Cristo Auto Sales, 5719 Calumet.
Mr. President, I move that be set for May 16th.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next, garage sale permits for 4713 Cameron and 2706 164th Street.
President, I move that those requests be approved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Matters from board members?
I have 2 items. I have settlement agreements here that need to be entered into the record. And I have,
Mr. President, I move that the settle agreements between the city of Hammond and the city of Chicago Heights be entered into the record.
and I'll concur. I'll second. And then I also.
All in favor?
Aye. And I also have a title sheet to be signed for the Wolf Lake Bike Trail. So federal project, it's gonna be bid shortly.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Matters from department heads, new business, old business, public expression. Anyone who wishes has the opportunity to address the board. Item 10.
Move to adjourn.
Second. Aye.